freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
I want to break free. I want to break free. I want to break free from your lies. You're so self-satisfied. I don't need you.
Oh, gotta break free, gotta break free. And let me tell you, one of the ways you're gonna do that is being able to feed thyself. If you're not able to feed thyself, guess what? You're not independent. That makes you dependent. And you want to be independent, you got to do two things. One, it's real simple. You go like this. You go, I declare my independence. See how easy that was? Don't even need a government form. But you're going to be going down to the local Superdome asking for your water and bread if you aren't able to feed yourself. Well, Marcin Jakubowski, he's a Ph.D. in physics and said, you know what? We need to start saving the planet one person at a time, and I'm going to help. And people started rallying around, and they're inspired by this idea. But I'll tell you, Marcin, I know how this is running a project like this. This is a lot of work, and you got a vision. You need help. I mean, there's just no way you're going to get away from not needing how much help you got and how much you need doing what.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Right now, the main way we get help is, so first of all, we've got a 30-acre facility right here, and we're building an infrastructure this year. It's our window of opportunity to build that using our tractors and compressed earth brick presses and so forth. But we take in people in what's known as dedicated project visits. So if someone wants to develop some of the tools technically, that's what these dedicated project visits are for. So technical design, CAD, prototyping, so fabricators. Mainly, like if you're a fabricator, if you can wield a torch and a welder, we'd love to have you here. So the other part is, right now we're looking for a full-time fabrication manager and a construction manager, basically to take those tasks over for me. I'm doing a lot of that right now, and I need to be liberated more to higher-level organizational work, securing funding, and getting this project done. Our ambitious goal is big, hairy, audacious goal. It's finish the whole set by the year end 2012. And that will require, we estimate, about a $4 million budget. And with the popularity we're gaining recently, that's looking well. Like, there's people coming in to do resource development. There's some product sales that we're doing. But I think we're going to use the nonprofit sector quite a bit, because there's just low-hanging fruit there that we can use that to do the development, to open up technology for the whole world. But that's more or less where we are. Fabrication managers is who we're looking for, construction managers, and fabricators to join us on site. That's the best way to join. You really get an immersion learning in a community of really dedicated people. There's only 5 of us right now here, and we're trying to build a team to about 16 by next year.
16? That's
16.
all you need, you think?
Dream team 16. So that includes a few fabricators, CAD designer, power electronics engineer, there's a farmer in there, there's a cook, there's an architect, builder, and a few other roles, a lot related to technical development, including project managers. But the main way it works is I and a couple of other people on site can do project management to organize the technical contributions of people worldwide. All kinds of engineers are contacting us to help. And beyond that, if we have the design, the CAD design, we can use our fabrication capacity here to produce the prototypes as soon as we get them developed. So we are developing the full infrastructure where we can fund, design, and deploy and test all the technologies on site in a really rapid parallel fashion. That's where we're going.
Well, go ahead and let's talk about this process. Because, a lot of, there's a bunch of libertarians listening. I tell you, they're all about understanding open source, dealing with computers and IT. But you're taking this concept to hardware. Explain the parallels there. How are you doing that application?
Yeah, absolutely. So open source software, most people know, like Linux, where the source code is the actual coding of the things that you use, like your web browser. Now, for hardware, what's the source code? Well, the source code is actually the design, the blueprints for these objects that you can now fabricate. So it's a two-step process. It's not only the source code, you also need to translate that source code, or you need a translator of that source code, the designs, into physical reality. And that's called fabrication, custom fabrication. Things like torch welder machine shop and other tools that can get you physical products from designs. But that's the whole concept, that you have a global repository of open source design for high quality products across all sectors, and then people in local communities can build them. So we can be competitive that way with the best of industry today on a super small scale. Because what's been shown in the open source world is that once enough contributors join a project, that project simply tends to beat its proprietary counterpart. So, I mean, Linux has done well, say, in the backbone of the internet, like servers and things. But that's a possibility for anything in the open source method, that you get the interest, you get the people committed to making a better world and sharing information and building upon each other's work instead of reinventing the wheel all the time. Inherently, there's huge potential in that. So that's the hope, that we can actually do way better than the current system in terms of the quality of design and products.
Well, the one thing that I'm really interested in is the fact that you have a mechanism that people can go and actually invest not only in their own accumulative knowledge, but in humanity's knowledge. And I mean, and the ability to create something that's outside of a system. Because when you do that, when you're building these things, you're not paying taxes on every level of manufacturing and the resources and the raw materials, and you're repurposing a lot of things and so on. But I tell you, that becomes a threat to those that do. And I'm very interested, because we followed in 2004, we started following and been really involved in the privatization of space exploration. And we, you know, that's a long story, but we really been following a lot of that and seeing where it's going. And we knew from something that was totally unregulated, oh, the man be a-coming. And in this, I can see. So tell me about the land that you're on. How did you select this land? How large is it? What kind of terrain does it have? Do you have your own well? You know, what kind of power sources?
Yeah, it's a 30-acre parcel in the Kansas City area of Missouri. We ended up getting to this place actually simply because we had friends initially when we started the project. Just had some friends that were doing related stuff, and happened that someone's relative had land, so we did that for a year before we got kicked off because we were doing innovative stuff that the local community didn't particularly like, and then we ended up getting our own land just with our own money. And now we've got the 30 acres here. We're off grid, so we run, for example, solar panels, which we got donated, and then for high power things like welders, we just run a generator to do that. And our strategy on that down the road, of course, is to use pelletized biomass and modern steam engines to use local fuel to generate power. So that's the longer term. Right now, we're still burning dinosaur blood in internal combustion engines, but there's a plan for that, going to 100% solar renewable economy. Now, we did dig a well. It kind of collapsed on us. We didn't do so well. It turned out to be a shallow well. It works decently, but we get most of our water off rooftop catchment, and that's actually really quality water. Like, whenever I go to the city, I can't believe what kind of stuff they're drinking in their cities in terms of the fluorine or whatever.
Marcin Jakubowski and Open Source Ecology. When we come back, lots more questions.
Yep.
I know I have. We'll be right back.